In the world that is increasingly fighting for our attention, it has become almost impossible to fully switch off. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about my hobby that not only that it helps me switch off for a good 3 hours, but it also rewires my brain and makes me think about things in a completely different way. Let's talk about how theater is the ultimate antidote to doom scrolling. If this is your first time on my channel, then welcome. I'm Christina and I go to theater every single week and share my experiences here on my channel. This has been the case for the past 2-3 years, and it has really completely rewired my brain and made me appreciate the time that I get to switch off at the theater a lot more than before I was actually doing that so frequently. So the number one and most obvious reason why theater is an antidote to doom scrolling is because once you get into the theater to see a show, you need to switch off your phone and fully focus on what's in front of you. And for some people, not checking their phone for 3 hours is nearly impossible. We're constantly getting notifications, texting people, we have notifications on our smartwatches. Once I started going to theater and really switched off my phone and made sure that I actually don't check, or like I don't log on to my social media during the interval, I have just noticed how much this helps me really calm down and understand that not responding to that message immediately, it isn't going to make the whole world fall apart. Sometimes also theaters don't have good Wi-Fi connections, so no going onto social media, no posting immediately about the show that I've been to, it really just helps recalibrate things and makes me stay with my feelings and with the experience a bit longer. So I think that those sacred 3 hours that you tend to spend at the theater, from the moment when you enter up until the moment when the show finishes and you head home, is something that no other experience is really allowing you to do so. And this is where I feel connected to both myself and other theater goers around me the most, when we are switched off from the world outside and from our phones and focus on what's in front of us. Due to the nature of theater, it often discusses things that are related to human nature and our experiences in existence. It could be love, it could be death, it could be some turmoil that we're going through, or it could be the happiest story. All these different angles are really helping us reflect on our own journey. And this is the second reason why I love going to theater, because it allows me to reflect inwards rather than when I'm doom scrolling or when I'm on social media. I'm very much focused on what other people are doing and what they are feeling and how things resonate with them, and I'm consuming their ideas. Whereas when I'm in the theater, I am taking the story that is in front of me and I'm thinking about how it actually resonates with me and how it makes me feel. And what does this reveal about my own unique experience and existence? And I think the theater has such an incredible power to tell stories in a compelling way and to take you on a journey of emotions and different situations that maybe you didn't even think about before, but now because you've experienced this show, you have this whole knowledge or maybe new perspective that has been open to you, and you're now thinking about that in relation to your life and where does it fit, or how can you tomorrow be a better person because of the experience that you have witnessed at the theater. So the theater really offers a perfect way to stop comparing yourself to other people on social media and truly think for those 3 hours, what do I want? What do I feel? What does resonate here for me, and why is that important? The reason number 3 why I think theater is the perfect antidote to social media and doom scrolling is because you can't film anything during a live theater performance apart from the curtain call in some instances. And this is a really important part of the experience, because I feel these days when you go to a gig, even sometimes when you go to a movie, people are kind of taking their phones out, and especially in concerts, you're sometimes watching a concert of your favorite artist to somebody else's phone because it is really impossible to stay away from it. And I know because I'm also guilty of this. At the concert, I want to capture this moment and I want to have it to reflect back on it. So I really appreciated when I was recently at a gig where they put the stickers on our cameras and they said to us that we shouldn't be filming and that actually artists are going to share with us the photos and the videos from the gig. At the theater, filming the performance is not only discouraged, but it is actually prohibited. So you shouldn't be doing this. And that really allows for a very unique experience of everyone being focused on the show in front of them and what the actors are delivering, and there are no phones in sight. And this really helps for connecting with the piece that is in front of you, observing the set design, being in tune with the melodies if it's a musical, or the soundtrack, if it's a play, I just become way more observant because of this. Because sometimes when I'm filming things that I'm excited about, I see everything through the screen on my phone and I'm trying to work out the angles. And at the theater, it's only your two eyes and you can't zoom in or zoom out. It is just what you're able to see and what you're able to pick up on. And because of this, you're tuning into what's happening around you. How are other people reacting? Is there a particular scene that you are really drawn to, a particular character? And all these thoughts are happening in your head because you're not worrying about taking a picture or a video that you can afterwards share on social media. And I think this is a really crucial part of theater experience that I hope it stays around for as long as possible, because we're flooded with looking at our phone screens all the time, and I just don't want theater to become one more of those spaces when we're doing that. The fourth reason is something that in the world of AI generated images and video and content, where it's becoming really hard to differentiate what's real and what's not, theater is becoming one of those things that it is the real thing. There is no alternative to experiencing theater unless you go and you're physically present in the building and you're physically seeing and hearing what's happening on the stage. There is no way of replicating or generating with the help of AI what's happening on the stage. And this is one experience that I feel we will definitely be more drawn to because of how saturated we are, especially in our social media feeds, with the content that we just don't recognize anymore. Is this a real voice? Is this AI generated voice? Is this a real place? Is this a real person? These all questions are gone once you're at the theater, because you are witnessing live actors on a stage that also has set designers and musicians and sound designers in front of the house staff and back of the house staff and so many people involved to put the show together, that it is just an industry that I hope it's going to thrive in the world that is just fueled by AI at the moment. And the fifth reason that is probably the most important one, and that is the theater encourages you to think for yourself. We are so used to algorithms feeding us what they think we would like, and the craziest thing is that we do end up liking this because these algorithms notice how we engage with different types of content and what resonates with us, so they're inclined to suggest a product or something to see or something to experience. Booking a theater show, there is something nice about knowing that you've booked that particular show because you chose to and you researched about it, or maybe a friend recommended it to you. I feel like that there's a bit more of that, again, a real life way of how you navigate towards getting to theater. From the moment you decide to book it to the actual moment that you end up being at the theater, there is a conscious decision that you're going to see the show rather than just being shown this on your feed and you're consuming it because the algorithm thinks that you're going to like it. And I think that just seeing a show involves a lot more of creating thinking and reflecting and rethinking what you already know and what you have expected about a particular show. And this is why exposing yourself to live theater, which could be a play, a musical, a dance performance, ballet, it's something that not only builds your imagination, but helps you think about your own taste. Especially if you go to theater regularly, you start understanding, do I prefer musicals? Do I prefer plays? Is there a particular writer that I like? Are there particular themes that really appeal to me? Maybe I'm into psychological thrillers, or maybe I'm into dramas or romance, or there's so many different things that you can find out about yourself because you're consciously pursuing the choice of going to theater and picking and choosing the shows that you want to see. Is there anything else that you would like to add? How is theater making you feel? Make sure to comment below. I do think that social media has a place in our world, and I'm literally right now communicating with you via a platform, so I'm all here for it, but it has become so easy for us to be so distracted by the algorithms and their perception of ourselves that sometimes we don't even allow ourselves time to actually look inward and think, what is it that actually excites us or bothers us or that we resonate with, or how has my taste in literature or plays or art evolved over the years? I don't think that there is space for that on social media, and I do think that actually physically engaging with the arts is something that can really help all of us feel happier and more like we're in control of our own life and of the way that we think. If I have tempted you to book your tickets to see a show, then check out this video where I'm talking about 10 shows that I can't wait to see this year.